Yashar, Jasher, chapter 74. In the end of years, Shaul, sovereign of Edom, died, and Baal-Hanan, son of Achbor, reigned in his place. In the 16th year of the reign of Mosheh over Kush, Baal-Hanan, son of Achbor, reigned in the land of Edom over all the children of Edom for 38 years. In his days Moab rebelled against the power of Edom, having been under Edom since the days of Hadad son of Bedad, who smote them and Midian, and brought Moab under subjection to Edom. And when Baal-Hanan son of Achbor reigned over Edom, all the children of Moab withdrew their allegiance from Edom, and Angeas, sovereign of Aphrika, died in those days, and Asdrubal his son reigned in his place. And in those days Yaneas, sovereign of the children of the Hittites, died, and they buried him in his palace which he had built for himself in the plain of Canopia for a residence, and Latinus reigned in his place. In the 22nd year of the reign of Mosheh over the children of Kush, Latinus reigned 45 years over the children of the Hittites. And he also built for himself a great and mighty tower, and in it he built an elegant palace for his residence, to conduct his reign as was the custom. In the 3rd year of his reign he sent a call to be made to all his skillful men, who made many ships for him. And Latinus assembled all his armies, and they came in ships, and went in them to fight against Asdrubal, son of Angeas, sovereign of Aphrika. And they came to Aphrika, and engaged in battle with Asdrubal and his army. And Latinus prevailed over Asdrubal, and Latinus took from Asdrubal the water shaft which his father had brought from the children of the Hittites, when he took Yaniah, the daughter of Uzi, for a wife. So Latinus overthrew the bridge of the water shaft, and smote the whole army of Asdrubal, a severe blow. And the remaining strong men of Asdrubal strengthened themselves, and their hearts were filled with envy. And trying death, they again engaged in battle with Latinus, sovereign of the Hittites. And the battle was fierce upon all the men of Aphrika, and they all fell wounded before Latinus and his people, and Asdrubal the sovereign also fell in the battle. And the sovereign Asdrubal had a very good-looking daughter, whose name was Ushpezena, and all the men of Aphrika embroidered her likeness on their garments, because of her exceedingly good looks and lovely appearance. And the men of Latinus saw Ushpezena, the daughter of Asdrubal, and praised her before Latinus their sovereign. And Latinus ordered her to be brought to him, and Latinus took Ushpezena for a wife, and he turned back on his way to the Hittites. And it came to be after the death of Asdrubal, son of Angeas, when Latinus had turned back to his land from the battle, that all the inhabitants of Aphrika rose up and took Anibal, son of Angeas, the younger brother of Asdrubal, and made him sovereign instead at his brother over the whole land at Aphrika. And when he reigned, he resolved to go to the Hittites to fight against the children of the Hittites, to avenge the cause of Asdrubal his brother, and the cause of the inhabitants of Aphrika. And he did so. And he made many ships, and he came in them with his whole army, and he went to the Hittites. So Anival fought with the children of the Hittites, and the children of the Hittites fell wounded before Anival and his army, and Anival avenged his brother's cause. And Anival continued to battle for 18 years with the children of the Hittites, and Anival dwelt in the land of the Hittites and encamped there for a long time. And Anival smote the children of the Hittites very severely, and he slew their great men and princes. And of the rest of the people he smote about 80,000 men. And at the end of days and years, Anival returned to his land of Aphrika, and he reigned safely in the place of Asdrubal his brother. Yashar, Jasher, chapter 75. At that time, in the 180th year of the Israelites going down to Mitzrayim, there went out from Mitzrayim 30,000 mighty men on foot from the children of Yisrael, who were all of the tribe of Yosef, of the children of Ephrayim, son of Yosef. For they said the period was completed which Yahweh had appointed to the children of Yisrael in the times of old, which he had spoken to Abraham. And these men girded themselves, and each man put his sword at his side, and every man his armor upon him. And they trusted to their strength, and went out together from Mitzrayim with a mighty hand. But they brought no food for the journey, only silver and gold. They did not even bring bread for that day in their hands, for they thought of getting their food for payment from the Palestinites, and if not, they would take it by force. And these men were very great and mighty men. One man could pursue 1,000, and two could put 10,000 to flight. So they trusted to their strength and went together as they were. And they directed their course toward the land of Gath, and went down and found the shepherds of Gath feeding the cattle of the children of Gath. And they said to the shepherds, "Give us some of the sheep for payment, that we may eat, for we are hungry, for we have eaten no bread today." And the shepherds said, "Are they our sheep or cattle, that we should give them to you even for payment?" So the children of Ephraim approached to take them by force, and the shepherds of Gath shouted over them, so that their cry was heard at a distance. So all the children of Gath went out to them. And when the children of Gath saw the evil deeds of the children of Ephraim, they returned and assembled the men of Gath, and each man put on his armor and came out to the children of Ephraim for battle. And they engaged with them in the valley of Gath, and the battle was fierce, and they smote from each other a great many on that day. And on the second day the children of Gath sent to all the cities of the Palestinites, that they should come to their help, saying, "Come up to us and help us, that we may smite the children of Ephraim, who have come out from Mitzrayim to take our cattle, and to fight against us without cause." Now the beans of the children of Ephraim were exhausted with hunger and thirst, for they had eaten no bread for 3 days. And 40,000 men went out from the cities of the Palestinites to the assistance of the men of Gath. And these men were engaged in battle with the children of Ephraim, and Yahweh delivered the children of Ephraim into the hands of the Palestinites, and they smote all the children of Ephraim, all who had gone out from Mitzrayim. None were remaining but 10 men who had run away from the battle. For this evil was from Yahweh against the children of Ephraim, for they transgressed the word of Yahweh in going out from Mitzrayim, before the time had arrived which Yahweh in the days of old had appointed to Yisrael. And of the Palestinites also there fell a great many, about 20,000 men, and their brothers carried them and buried them in their cities. And the slain of the children of Ephraim remained forsaken in the valley of Gath for many days and years, and were not brought to burial, and the valley was filled with men's bones. And the men who had escaped from the battle came to Mitzrayim, and told all the children of Israel all that had befallen them. And their father Ephraim mourned over them for many days, and his brothers came to console him. And he came to his wife, and she bore a son, and he called his name Beriah, for she was unfavored in his house. Yashar, Jasher, chapter 76. And Mosheh, son of Amram, was still sovereign in the land of Kush in those days. And he prospered in his reign, and he conducted the reign of the children of Kush in justice, in righteousness, and integrity. And all the children of Kush loved Mosheh all the days that he reigned over them, and all the inhabitants of the land of Kush greatly revered him. And in the 40th year of the reign of Mosheh over Kush, Mosheh was sitting on the royal throne, while Adoniah the sovereigness was before him, and all the nobles were sitting around him. And Adoniah the sovereigness said before the sovereign and the princes, "What is this deed which you, the children of Kush, have done for this long time? Indeed, you know that for 40 years this man has reigned over Kush. He has not approached me, nor has he served the mighty ones of the children of Kush. Now therefore hear, O you children of Kush, and no longer let this man reign over you, as he is not of our flesh. Look, Menacrus, my son, is grown up. Let him reign over you, for it is better for you to serve the son of your master than to serve a stranger, a slave of the sovereign of Mitzrayim." And all the people and nobles of the children of Kush heard the words which Adoniah the sovereigness had spoken in their ears. And all the people were preparing until the evening, and in the morning they rose early and made Menacrus, son of Kikianus, sovereign over them. But all the children of Kush were afraid to stretch out their hand against Mosheh, for Yahweh was with Mosheh, and the children of Kush remembered the oath which they swore to Mosheh, so they did no harm to him. But the children of Kush gave many presents to Mosheh, and sent him from them with great honor. So Mosheh went out from the land of Kush, and went home, and ceased to reign over Kush. And Mosheh was 66 years old when he went out from the land of Kush, for the matter was from Yahweh, for the period had arrived which he had appointed in the days of old, to bring out Yisrael from the affliction of the children of Ham. So Mosheh went to Midian, for he was afraid to return to Mitzrayim because of Pharaoh, and he went and sat at a well of water in Midian. And the 7 daughters of Reuel the Midianite went out to feed their father's flock, and they came to the well and drew water to water their father's flock. So the shepherds of Midian came and drove them away, and Mosheh rose up and helped them and watered the flock. And they came home to their father Reuel and told him what Mosheh did for them. And they said, "A Mitzrayite man has delivered us from the hands of these shepherds. He drew up water for us and watered the flock." And Reuel said to his daughters, "And where is he? Why have you left the man?" And Reuel sent for him and fetched him and brought him home, and he ate bread with him. And Mosheh related to Reuel that he had fled from Mitzrayim, and that he reigned 40 years over Kush, and that afterward they had taken the reign from him, and had sent him away in peace with honor and with presents. And when Reuel had heard the words of Mosheh, Reuel said within himself, "I will put this man into the prison house, whereby I shall appease the children of Kush, for he has fled from them." And they took and put him in the prison house, and Mosheh was in prison 10 years. And while Mosheh was in the prison house, Zipporah, the daughter of Reuel, took pity on him, and supported him with bread and water all the time. And all the children of Yisrael were still in the land of Mitzrayim, serving the Mitzrites in all manner of hard labor. And the hand of Mitzrayim continued in severity over the children of Yisrael in those days. At that time Yahweh smote Pharaoh, sovereign of Mitzrayim, and afflicted him with the plague of leprosy from the sole of his foot to the crown of his head. Because of the cruel treatment of the children of Yisrael, this plague was at that time from Yahweh on Pharaoh, sovereign of Mitzrayim. For Yahweh had listened to the prayer of his people, the children of Yisrael, and their cry reached him for the sake of their hard labor. Still his wrath did not turn from them, and the hand of Pharaoh was still outstretched against the children of Yisrael. And Pharaoh hardened his neck before Yahweh, and he increased his yoke over the children of Yisrael, and embittered their lives with all manner of hard work. And when Yahweh had inflicted the plague upon Pharaoh, sovereign of Mitzrayim, he asked his wise men and sorcerers to cure him. And his wise men and sorcerers said to him that if the blood of little children were put into the wounds, he would be healed. And Pharaoh listened to them, and sent his attendants to Goshen to the children of Yisrael to take their little children. And Pharaoh's attendants went and took the infants of the children of Yisrael from the bosoms of their mothers by force, and they brought them to Pharaoh daily, a child each day, and the physicians killed them and applied them to the plague. Thus they did all the days. And the number of the children which Pharaoh slew was 375. But Yahweh did not listen to the physicians of the sovereign of Mitzrayim, and the plague went on increasing greatly. And Pharaoh was afflicted 10 years with that plague. Still the heart of Pharaoh was more hardened against the children of Yisrael. And at the end of 10 years Yahweh continued to afflict Pharaoh with destructive plagues. And Yahweh smote him with an evil tumor and sickness of the stomach, and the plague turned into a severe boil. At that time the 2 attendants of Pharaoh came from the land of Goshen, where all the children of Yisrael were, and went to the house of Pharaoh and said to him, "We have seen the children of Yisrael slacken in their work and are negligent in their labor." And when Pharaoh heard the words of his attendants, his wrath was kindled against the children of Yisrael exceedingly, for he was greatly grieved at his bodily pain. And he answered and said, "Now that the children of Yisrael know that I am ill, they turn and scoff at us. Now therefore harness my chariot for me, and I will take myself to Goshen, and will see the scoffing of the children of Yisrael with which they are mocking me." So his servants harnessed the chariot for him, and they took and made him ride on a horse, for he was not able to ride by himself. And he took 10 horsemen and 10 footmen with him, and went to the children of Yisrael to Goshen. And when they had come to the border of Mitzrayim, the sovereign's horse passed into a narrow place, elevated in the hollow part of the vineyard, fenced on both sides, the low plain country being on the other side. And the horses ran rapidly in that place and pressed each other, and the other horses pressed the sovereign's horse, and the sovereign's horse fell into the low plain while the sovereign was riding on it. And when he fell, the chariot rolled over the sovereign's face, and the horse lay upon the sovereign. And the sovereign cried out, for his flesh was very sore. And the flesh of the sovereign was torn from him, and his bones were broken, and he could not ride. For this matter was from Yahweh on him, for Yahweh had heard the cries of his people, the children of Yisrael, and their affliction. And his servants carried him on their shoulders a little at a time, and they brought him back to Mitzrayim. And the horsemen who were with him also came back to Mitzrayim. And they placed him in his bed, and the sovereign knew that his end was come to die. So Aphrika, the sovereigness, his wife, came and cried before the sovereign, and the sovereign wept a great weeping with her. And all his nobles and servants came on that day and saw the sovereign in that affliction, and wept a great weeping with him. And the princes of the sovereign and all his counselors advised the sovereign to cause one to reign in his place in the land, whosoever he should choose from his sons. And the sovereign had 3 sons and 2 daughters, which Aphrika, the sovereigness, his wife, had borne to him, besides the sovereign's children of concubines. And these were their names: the firstborn, Othri; the second, Adikam; the third, Morion; and their sisters, the name of the elder, Bathia; and the other, Akuzi. And Othri, the firstborn of the sovereign, was a fool, hasty and hurried in his words. But Adikam was a cunning and wise man, and knowing in all the wisdom of Mitzrayim, but of ugly appearance, fat-fleshed, and very short in stature. His height was 1 amah. And when the sovereign saw Adikam his son intelligent and wise in all matters, the sovereign resolved that he should be sovereign in his place after his death. And he took for him a wife, Gerudah, daughter of Avilot, and he was 10 years old, and she bore to him 4 sons. And afterward he went and took 3 wives, and brought forth 8 sons and 3 daughters. And the condition greatly prevailed over the sovereign, and his flesh stank like the flesh of a carcass cast on the field in summertime during the heat of the sun. And when the sovereign saw that his sickness had greatly strengthened itself over him, he ordered his son Adikam to be brought to him, and they made him sovereign over the land in his place. And at the end of 3 years the sovereign died, in shame, disgrace, and disgust. And his servants carried him and buried him in the burial place of the sovereigns of Mitzrayim, in Zoan, Mitzrayim. But they did not embalm him as was usual with sovereigns, for his flesh was putrid, and they could not approach to embalm him because of the stench. So they buried him in haste. For this evil was from Yahweh on him, for Yahweh had repaid him evil for the evil which he had done to Yisrael in his days. And he died with fear and with shame, and his son Adikam reigned in his place.